Now, throughout NBA history, there's been plenty of emotional moments around the league. As we go through this list of the most emotional times ever, even you might tear up a little. With Isiah Thomas helping lead the Celtics to the best record in the East during the 2017 season, just one day before the first game of the playoffs against the Bulls, his sister was killed in a car accident in their hometown, which left many people on the Celtics staff and fans wondering if Isiah would even be able to play after such a tragedy happening. When it came time to run into the court, Isiah led the team out of their locker room and onto the court, even wiping his face as they announced his name. The most emotional part was during the moment of silence they had for his sister China, where Thomas was seen wiping his tears once again and even wrote things on his shoes saying, "R.I.P. Lil Sis, I love you," in China. Before the game, Coach Brad Stevens talked about Isiah and said, "He's struggling obviously. It's tragic circumstances he and his family are going through right now. Our thoughts first and foremost are with him." We talked a little bit last night and then again today that as he goes through it and if he feels like he needs to not play, then whatever he wants. During that game, Thomas was visibly crying but still did whatever he possibly could, dropping 33 points, but unfortunately the Celtics lost. His teammate Avery Bradley, who grew up very close to Thomas, even spoke about how tough Isiah was when he said, "I know it's going to be hard on Isiah, but it's our job as teammates and his brothers to make sure we're there for him." One thing I know about Isiah is that his mindset is to play for his sister, continue to play the way that he's playing, and just to have fun and appreciate every day that he's able to wake up. I know that's really important, and he looks at life differently. I look up to him. The way he handled the situation, a lot of people criticize it and say what they want to say, but I respect him a lot. He was able to go through that and still be here for his team, and like I said, still play at a high level. So I really appreciate Isiah, and I'm there for his family. We all are, and we're praying for him. I know that he's going to continue to play hard for his sister. Despite the tragedy that he went through during the first series against the Bulls, the Celtics moved on and played the Wizards in the second round where, ironically enough, Game 2 of the series fell on what would have been his sister's 23rd birthday. The game was a thriller throughout. Thomas took over in the second half, scoring 29 in the fourth quarter in overtime, which was 1 point less than the entire Wizards team during that span. Thomas ended the game with 53 points in the Celtics' 129-119 win, which gave Thomas the record for most points scored in a playoff game among current players. And after that crazy performance, Thomas was being interviewed on court and said, "It's my sister. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday. She would have been 23 today. So everything I do is for her. She's watching over me. So that's all her. The least I could do is go out there and play for her." I knew once game time came, my guys would get me going, get me the energy to go out and win a game. There was no way I was going to sit out. It's nice to be a Celtics history with all great players, but until you win a championship, you can't consider yourself a great player. That's what it's all about. With John Wall being the face of the Wizards franchise for years now, we've seen him accomplish great things throughout his career. But arguably one of his most memorable performances came in a win against the Celtics in 2014 when he broke down in tears during the post-game interview afterwards. Wall was emotional due to losing a friend of his that he became close with over the past year before that. This happened to be a 6-year-old girl who was battling cancer, and John Wall hung out with her and helped her achieve some of her dreams. But that game, Wall played well, scoring 26 points and had 17 assists with 7 rebounds and a 133-132 comeback win against the Celtics. After the game, the reporter asked Wall to walk him through his emotions, and Wall said, "This is an emotional game for me. This one is for Maya, one of my close friends that I lost that I met last year, and it's just tough, man, you know what I mean? You see a little kid that fights so hard for cancer and can't beat it? This game's for her, man, and my jersey and shorts, I'm gonna give it to her family. It's a tough day for me," and I was really quiet today. The reporter said that he'd never seen John Wall so emotional and said, "She really touched you, didn't she?" Which all Wall could do was nod yes as he bent over and just started to break down in tears. But shortly after her passing, Wall got a tattoo on the wrist of his shooting hand that showed the cancer ribbon, as well as Maya's name and her birthday. Now, Kemba Walker has definitely been an underrated player up to this point, but he has not been underestimated by the team that drafted him in Charlotte. He continued being a staple of Hornets history while playing there since being drafted in 2011. And after passing Del Curry as the all-time points leader in Hornets history, things got emotional. On March 28th of 2018, the Hornets were at home against LeBron and the Cavaliers, where Kemba scored a layup with 20 seconds left in the game, and the crowd instantly started cheering despite their team losing 118-103. You can see Kemba's mom jumping up and down in the stands cheering on her son, and the first person to walk over and congratulate him afterwards was LeBron. After the game, LeBron told ESPN what he said to Kemba after hugging him, and he said, "Listen, if you could be the all-time scoring leader in any franchise, that's incredible. That's an incredible feat." I definitely went over and just told him how incredible that was. Even though with the season that they're having, when accomplishments happen throughout the season, you try not to take them for granted. I think it's an incredible feat for him. Kemba was interviewed on the court after his record-breaking night and was asked what he was thinking during this moment. Kemba froze up and started to wipe his eyes and eventually put a towel over his head. Then he was able to talk. He said, "I'm not supposed to be here. A lot of people where I'm from don't make it. Through my Lord and Savior, my family, a lot of hard work. It's been a long ride, but this is a huge accomplishment. I'm excited. I wish it was a better game. I wish I would have played a little better, but great accomplishment. I want to be as good as I can." They usually say as you get older, you can't get better, but that's not true. I'm living proof. I try to work hard each and every day to become a better player. There's always doubts about me, and I always want to prove people wrong, so that's what I try to do. The GOAT himself, Michael Jordan, who obviously plays a huge role in the Hornets franchise, even congratulated Kemba after the record-setting night, saying, "I'm really happy for Kemba, becoming a franchise's all-time leading scorer is a big accomplishment, and it's a testament to his hard work, dedication, and passion for the game of basketball. He exemplifies what it means to be a Hornet. His effort, leadership, and commitment to our team in the city of Charlotte, second to none. I'm proud to have him on our team. Congratulations, Kemba. With LeBron James being just a kid from Akron, his biggest goal growing up was to bring a championship to his hometown of the Cavaliers, which he finally did in 2016. The 2016 NBA Finals were packed with excitement and emotion, and prior to returning to Cleveland from Miami, LeBron promised the city a championship win before he retired. The series definitely didn't start off in Cleveland's favor, as the first few games went completely in Golden State's favor, and many counted the team out right away. No team had ever come back from a 3-1 deficit in Finals history, and when the Cavaliers went down, everybody thought it was over except LeBron. Teammates recall LeBron just constantly preaching to them that the series was far from over and that they just had to take one game at a time. Game 5 and 6 were legendary performances from LeBron and Kyrie Irving, scoring 40 points, and emotions ran so high Steph Curry got ejected for the first time in his career during Game 6 after he argued with the refs and threw his mouthguard into the crowd. Coming into Game 7, it seemed as if the momentum had shifted toward the Cavaliers, with LeBron staying calm and collected. He recorded a 27-point triple-double with 11 assists and 11 rebounds. As he watched the clock run down and the final buzzer sound in their 93-89 win, he just dropped to the floor and started crying instantly, as he knew he'd just done something special, shocking the world. Dorsberg interviewed LeBron right after the game, and despite tearing up, he said, "I gave everything that I had. I put my heart, my blood, my sweat, and my tears into this game, and against all odds, I don't know why we want to take the hardest road. I don't know why the man above gave me the hardest road, but there's nothing the man above going to put new situations that you can't handle." I just kept the same positive attitude, like, instead of saying, "Why me?" I was saying, "This is what he wanted me to do. Cleveland, this is for you." After being able to collect himself and taking the fact that he won the Cavs their first championship in 52 years, he spoke in a post-game interview about his decision to leave Miami and bring his hometown this trophy when he said, "There were some people that I trusted and built relationships in those 4 years who told me I was making the biggest mistake of my career. I knew what I was doing, and I mean, tonight's a product of it. I didn't know it was going to happen this way though. Oh my god, down 3-1 versus a team that's 73-9 that lost one game in the playoffs at home? I want to continue to be great. I want to continue to lead the 14 guys that I got on my team. I want to continue to lead this franchise I got to continue to be great. That's it. I owe that all to myself. I'm true to myself. I'm my biggest critic. All the other conversation that goes out there, yeah, that's fine and dandy, but I'm my biggest critic. I owe it to myself to continue to be great." Later on in 2018, during an episode of ESPN's More Than an Athlete, LeBron reflected on the Cavaliers' comeback on the Warriors, and James said, "That one right there made me the greatest player of all time." That's what I felt. Everybody was just talking about how the Warriors were the greatest team of all time, like it was the greatest team ever assembled. For us to come back the way that we did in that fashion, I was like, you did something special. With Derrick Rose making a name for himself in the NBA as arguably one of the most explosive players ever, he's had to battle injuries and deal with being traded from his hometown team. In the summer of 2016, trade rumors began flying around his name, and at the time, Rose had a camera crew following him around and filming a documentary in Los Angeles. And he was asked about the rumors, saying, "I hear about the trade rumors, and this Knicks one was pretty big because it caught a lot of people's attention. I just stay out the way. It's cool to hear about it, but I'm cool with being in Chicago and trying to win there. Get back on the right track." So that's the only thing I could think about, being in Chicago. I never thought about packing up and just leaving or demanding a trade. And as he said this, his interview was interrupted by a phone call from his agent, who happened to be in New York at the time. And you could tell Derrick was nervous and knew what this was about. And when it was revealed to him that he was in fact traded to the Knicks, all emotions let loose as his time playing for his hometown had come to an end. Definitely a sad moment due to the fact that so many people were counting him out at this point. But ever since, Rose has continued to fight and prove that he belongs in the league no matter what anybody says. In October of 2018, Rose had the comeback game he was looking for years when he dropped 50 points in a game against the Jazz in a 128-125 win. The Timberwolves guard had never dropped 50 points in a game, despite playing at such a high level during his MVP season with the Bulls. In fact, he'd scored more than 40 just 3 times in his career up to this point, so the performance was special. Rose was 19 for 31 shooting, including 4 from 7 from behind the arc, and Rose scored 15 points in the fourth quarter, including 6 in the final minute. He gave Minnesota a lead with 30 seconds left and helped ice the game with a pair of free throws for the final points of the game. And afterwards, Rose was beyond emotional, even choked up a few times in the post-interview where he said, "This meant everything. I worked my ass off. I went and did this for the franchise and the organizations, the fans, everybody, man. I want to be able to play the way I play. Words can't describe how I feel right now. It's been a while, bro." Although Rose doesn't play for the Wolves anymore, he recently spoke about his 50-point game, saying, "It took the weight off my back. It made me realize how good everybody in the league is. The fans don't know, but the same guy that you think sucks on the team, he can give you 50, bro." And plenty of current NBA players, legends, and fans congratulated Rose on his crazy game, including his old coach John Calipari, who tweeted and said, "At D Rose goes for 50 in a Minnesota win." He also got the game game-winning block, but the act that showed the most to me was his team's response. He's one of the best teammates I've ever coached. Proud of you, D-Rose, and love you. Kobe also tweeted and said, "It's about damn time the real D-Rose stood up. Love seeing you back, my brother." LeBron even posted a clip of D-Rose post-game interview on Instagram and said, "So extremely happy and proud of you, bro. I've seen it firsthand how much you've worked and dedicated on your body, craft, and mind, etc. just to play one game at a time. Perseverance is a mother, and this is the absolute perfect definition of it. Salute, bro. Hashtag D-Rose for president." One of Rose's longtime friends, Dwayne Wade, also tweeted at Rose saying, "Every basketball fan in the world should feel good for D-Rose. Tonight was an example of never giving up on yourself, and when others believe in you, amazing things can happen. I'm smiling like I scored 50. Congrats to a good dude." Rose even got praise from arguably the best shooter in the NBA when Curry hopped on Twitter and said, "This is so dope, man. I can't imagine the down days, weeks, months, and years he went through. 50 ball. So much respect, bro." Man, this was an emotional video. So you should click this video right here on the screen because this will brighten you up, man. You gotta chill. You gotta laugh a little. You gotta smile after all this emotion. So just click on this video. It's sure to brighten up your day and your mood after this emotional roller coaster.